Hello, glad to have you join us. This is Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguilera. The world converges on the Amazonian city of Belém, Brazil, to confront escalating climate risk at the 30th Conference of the Parties. Now, this year's summit marks a shift from mere declarations of intent to concrete actions towards implementation, with Nigeria set to play a prominent role across all negotiation fronts. Charles Alpha reports on why this year's climate conference is expected to be different.
Belém stands as the gateway to the mighty Amazon River, one of Brazil's most historic and culturally vibrant cities. Its unique location providing unparalleled access to one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on Earth makes it a fitting host city where global leaders have gathered to shape the future of climate action. COP30 presents another crucial opportunity for countries like Nigeria and others bearing the brunt of climate change to negotiate texts that align with global priorities while addressing national needs. With COP29 in Baku dubbed the Finance COP, world leaders agreed on a new global climate finance goal, the new collective quantified goal of $300 billion to replace the outdated $100 billion commitment made at COP15. Now, COP30, branded as the Implementation COP, focuses on action and delivery, turning climate finance and pledges into tangible results. In his opening remarks, United Nations Climate Change Executive Secretary Simon Still said that having agreed to deliver at least $300 billion in climate finance, with developed countries taking the lead, the world must now put the Baku to Belém roadmap to work. Nigeria's delegation, led by the Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas Lawal, will be delivering the country's position on the global stage. Also in attendance is the Director General of the National Council on Climate Change, Tenyoye Majikotomi, leading the team of negotiators to consolidate on the successes from COP29 in Abuja. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
In other news, the federal government has urged Nigerians to remain calm in the face of diplomatic spat between the United States and the country. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, expressed this in Dutse, Jigawa State, while on a courtesy visit to the Governor of Jigawa, Umar Namadi. The minister is in Jigawa State to attend the Northwest 2025 Youth Parley and the presentation of the achievements of President Tinubu after 2 years in office. The chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Professor Nantawe Yelwada, has restated the commitment of the present administration to promoting freedom of worship by adherents of all religions and dismissed any allegation of Christian persecution in the country. Professor Yelwada stated this in Akwanga, Nasarawa State. Let's hear from Aliyu Tijani.
National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, is in Akwanga as a guest at the Equa Executive Retreat with the theme, Etiology of Dissent, repositioning Equa for subversive engagement, while assuring the Church of the federal government commitment. APC National Chairman tasked the Church to use the pulpits and preach peace, tolerance and harmony by people of all faiths. The present administration of President Bola Tinubu, he says, runs an all-inclusive government that does not discriminate against any religion, as he calls on both Christians and Muslims to coexist peacefully.
By the grace of God, we will continue to pray for our leaders.
The Church is standing with us in prayers. We acknowledge the challenge that we have in the country as a government, and the president has always said that he's out to ensure that we stamp out all form of violence against people, regardless of their faith, and to give equal opportunity for every Nigerian.
The APC national chairman says in the last 2.5 years of the Renewed Hope administration, the federal government has continued to roll out interventions to mitigate impact of some economic policies, as well as support for medium and small-scale enterprises. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Wife of the APC National Chairman, Dr. Martina Yilwada, has asked women nationwide to rally round the continuity of the Renewed Hope agenda owing to the tremendous results achieved within 2 years. Dr. Martina was speaking during an engagement with Women Leadership Network, where she acknowledged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's inclusive governance and monumental strides. Other top-notch women leaders commended the president for gender and religious justice and the distribution of appointment and appealed for support in all fronts.
To channel it into a national cause. And this can only be achieved through mobilization.
But with this kind of initiative now, it's like a new chapter for me. Because I must come and give my own experience and encourage the younger ones that will take over from us.
Mobilization means consciously taking the message of renewed hope to every community, every ward, every household, ensuring that the true picture of government policy impact is known.
As 2027 approaches, this is not just gratitude, this is loyalty rooted in evidence. This is acknowledgement rooted in reality, and this is a continuation of solidarity rooted in impact.
The gathering, among other things, was also to appreciate the women for standing by the family of the national chairman during the demise of their mother. Nigeria's rich diversity in language, culture, and religion remains a source of strength and identity for her. Now, this diversity continues to offer opportunities for understanding, collaboration, and peaceful coexistence across different faiths. In this report, Abdul Karim Ahmed examines religious harmony as a pillar of national growth and development.
Investigations reveal that religious harmony in Nigeria is gaining recognition as a strong example of peaceful coexistence as Christians and Muslims across many communities continue to live together, worship freely, and jointly contribute to national development. Research also shows that both religions have consistently promoted shared values such as compassion, integrity, and respect, helping to strengthen social relationships and support collective efforts for the common good.
There's no compulsion in religion. So we have to believe in these fundamentals and treat Christians as our co-citizens, and the Christians we should treat Muslims as their co-citizens.
Stakeholders say sustaining harmony between the two major faiths will continue to deepen trust, boost confidence, and improve national stability.
We must tolerate one another. Every parent at home needs to go back to the drawing board, start from basic, and make sure that they teach their children the proper way to go.
Analysts insist that strengthening platforms for interfaith engagement and promoting shared national values will not only enhance peaceful coexistence, but also position Nigeria as a global reference for successful religious harmony. In Akure, Abdul Karim Ahmed, NTA News.
All right, let's join Abdul Karim now. Ahmed, to give us update. He joins us live from Akure. Abdul Karim, from your report, I'm sure there's more on this religious harmony you want to share with us. Please go ahead.
Yes, every multi-faith society requires religious harmony for national development. This is because religious harmony serves as a critical foundation for peace, stability, and collective progress. Nigeria's history over the years has shown that when religious tolerance thrives, communities can coexist peacefully with one another, trade and education also flourishes, and national development goals are easier to achieve for the nation. In my discussions with stakeholders and religious leaders here in Akure, they emphasized the need to continue to promote interfaith dialogue as one of the key pillars of religious harmony, whereby they can come together and have continuous engagement. Different religious leaders can come together and have continuous engagement as well to foster their faith with one another and also make sure that there are no conflicts. Another important thing they mentioned is the fact that everyone needs to respect each other's freedom to worship as enshrined in the Constitution. As we have rights to every other thing, rights to life, rights to vote, there is also rights and freedom for each individual to worship how his faith requires them to worship without any interruptions from other people. And of course, another important value is collaborations on national value, such as honesty, justice, and compassion, which is something shared by all religions and faiths. So overall, religious harmony helps Nigeria to build a sense of common identity beyond faith or ethnicity, and reminds us citizens that unity in diversity is the true strength of the nation.
Indeed, Abdul Karim, you've just hit the nail on the head, and thank you for that. Interfaith dialogue, for me, is the key strategy there. Thank you very much. All right, let's turn to other issues. The federal government says it will support vulnerable customers who cannot afford to pay full cost of electricity when cost-reflective tariff is implemented. Managing Director of the Nigerian Independent System Operator, Abdul Bello Mohammed, said this during a roundtable engagement in Abuja with the theme Cost-Reflective Tariff versus Energy Poverty, finding a price and balance in Nigeria's power sector. Stakeholders agree that while cost-reflective tariff is necessary for the growth of the sector, there must be improvement in availability and quality in electricity supply.
There is what we call Power Consumer Assistance Fund that is deliberately designed to support vulnerable Nigerians that cannot afford to pay for electricity. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC) and the Ministry of Power are working on this fund.
Electricity pricing is more than a technical or economic issue. It is at the heart of Nigeria's development, productivity, and quality of life. That is why this conference continues to serve as a neutral and solutions-driven platform for engagement among all stakeholders.
The federal government has expressed concern over the rising cases of vandalism and misuse of newly constructed and ongoing road projects across the country. Kenneth Nanim reports that Minister of Works for State Mohammed Bello Goronyo, while inspecting the ongoing reconstruction of the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano dual carriage expressway, issued a warning that such irresponsible acts threaten the lifespan and safety of critical national infrastructure and will not be tolerated.
Inspecting the ongoing reconstruction work on the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano road, Minister of Works for State Mohammed Bello Goronyo warned against road infrastructure vandalism, stating that government is making huge investments in road infrastructure development across the country. He urges traditional rulers, community leaders and residents of the areas to take collective ownership of public infrastructure in their domain.
Some people go overnight and begin to break some of the road infrastructure and removing iron roads. We have noticed that even on completed projects along Jaji Bridge in Kaduna, they are dumping refuse
Reaffirming government's resolve towards completing the road project within record time, Goronyo describes the project as the flagship of President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda designed to enhance trade, promote unity, and strengthen economic integration between the northern and southern regions of the country.
I want to appeal to the community and commuters that are flying this road to continue to be patient with us. In a couple of days, all this traffic, all this trouble that they are going through will become a thing of the past.
We are working intensely 7 days a week to achieve this goal.
It is close that the Section 1, which is the Abuja-Kaduna axis of the project, spanning 144 kilometers, is progressing steadily across several active sections from Tuganmaji and Jere to Katari Kakao area.
And then we have completed the 15 kilometers of the binder course with wearing course. We have completed the airport road in Kano.
At the additional location of the Kano end of the alignment, the minister reiterated that the Abuja-Kano Expressway remains one of the most strategic road corridors in the nation. The minister was also at the end of Section 2 of the Kaduna-Zaria axis, which has been completed and handed over by the previous contractor. He also inspected ongoing construction work in different areas in Katsina State, where he expressed satisfaction with the progress of work. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
It was a grand reception in Malamaduri local government area of Jigawa State, as Governor Umar Namadi and members of his cabinet were received by a large crowd of enthusiastic citizens during a midterm citizens assessment of the government. The visit provided an avenue for direct interaction between the government and the people on the progress of his administration's development agenda. Mohammed Musa Skira reports.
Namadi, accompanied by top government officials, led the mid-tenure citizens' assessments of his government in Malamaduri. The session afforded residents the opportunity to engage the government team, share feedback and highlight areas of priority for future intervention. Leaders and stakeholders in the area pledged continued loyalty and support to the Umar Namadi administration, describing it as people-oriented and development-driven. Earlier, Governor Namadi flagged off the construction of a 34.5 kilometers Malamaduri to Diginsa Road, valued at about 18.6 billion naira. The project forms part of over 70 kilometers of road infrastructure executed in the area in the past 2.5 years at a total cost exceeding 28 billion naira.
And we all know that these 7 communities are also farming communities. So this road will allow them to move their agricultural produce to the nearest market.
The governor also commissioned key community projects, including a veterinary clinic, a large mosque, and an empowerment initiative, such as the distribution of vehicles to beneficiaries. Governor Umar Namadi reiterated that his administration remained committed to delivering tangible development that uplift every part of Jigawa State. In Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu congratulates former Governor of Kano State, Senator Ibrahim Shekaru, on his 70th birthday. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says President Tinubu has hailed Shekaru's consummate public service career, rising from classroom teacher to the position of permanent secretary in Kano State Civil Service before venturing to politics in the early 2000s. President Tinubu also recalls Shekaru's phenomenal election as Kano State Governor in 2003 and his human-centered approach to governance in the 2 terms he served as the governor. President Tinubu thanked Senator Shekaru for his years of service to the country and prayed to Allah to keep the former Kano governor in good health so that he may continue serving his people and Nigeria. All right, I'm afraid we have to pause this news at this point to join our outside broadcast crew for Northwest 2025 Youth Parley. Earlier, I told you the Minister of Information is attending that to reel out the strides of the present administration. Do enjoy.